Hi, all my little lions and lionesses. Bursty's here with you tonight, and we're going to do another video game video here. Now, recently I finished up all the Borderlands games as of yet. Let's hope there's more. But I want to go do a series of games that I've been playing since, well, I was still a single-digit lion. Now, I didn't own this one as a little one, but I had borrowed enough times and rented, and now I do own it, but it is Metroid, the original, on the NES. Now, yes, this means we're going to start talking about all of them, or at least all the ones I have. I know there's at least a couple I might not own, so forgive me for not owning either physical copies of single things like, I don't know, Metroid Prime 3 by itself. I own it in a compilation disc, but it's a lot cooler of a copy, so that's important. So, for today, we're going to talk about the first Metroid. Now, this game is really groundbreaking for when it came out. It made a lot of things happen, and we couldn't have some of the greatest games that have come out without it having been there first. It had a lot of exploration, a lot of problem solving, and unlike all of its sequels, not a lot of hand-holding. There were ways to get around things. The only way you knew you had a way to get around it was you figured out you couldn't do something, you had to go search down other corridors till you could find a thing you could do. And it didn't keep you from being where you shouldn't. This is definitely a fun, scary part was it didn't stop you from going where you didn't want to go. Like really early on, you have the ability to go down to Norfair, or as most of us would call it, no fair, because it's hot down there, and basically just being down there quickly kills you. So, not even hitting bad guys, you just die for existing. That's Metroid. But it had so many equipment items you find throughout the game, so many energy tanks and missile tanks and things like that that really made you get more powerful without really so much being leveled up from like killing things. You don't get like experience points and more HP for that. You only get more hit points if you find an energy tank somewhere, which when you start the game, the original game, you have 30 out of your maximum 99 hit points. And bad guys don't just give you one hit usually, so and when you kill a bad guy and get some health back, it's generally less than if they'd gotten a chance to touch you. So it's a challenging one, especially back in the 80s when it came out. It was definitely a hard-hitting game. One thing that definitely did not follow through to the sequels is if you got an upgrade to your gun, it just replaced the old gun. It did not adapt to the additional things you'd found previously. So, say you found the beam that made it go wiggly wiggly. Well, that's awesome. Then you find the ice beam. Now, you don't have an ice beam that goes wiggly wiggly. You just have an ice beam. And the only way to change it off the ice beam is to go find one of the other guns again. So, and having the ice beam is cool and all. It is necessary to beat the game, but having it can get frustrating sometimes. It's like, I can kill that guy with one blast or two blasts. Now it freezes him. I have to keep shooting him because now it takes extra hit. So there were pluses and minuses to all the toys. This is the game that invented the things like bomb jumping, where you would just keep laying bombs at the right time. You'd be able to get up to the ceiling and get something you shouldn't be able to get right away. There were so many secrets in this game, so many added things, so many places you'd have to go hunt for that weren't marked. Walls that could be blown up with special equipment or um, secret ways of doing things, and finding all these little hidden bonuses, hidden power-ups. It was a treasure hunt of a game. Um, Overall, it wasn't an extremely long game because well, it was from the 80s, so if you got a game with a lot of complicated stuff, it's not going to be super long. But it was long enough that it really was a super long adventure. And it was before we had good save state systems, so it had passwords. So you could at least go back to where you were if you had to shut the game off. Not the worst. But trying to write down those passwords was always a pain, so that also meant that you could get a password from someone else online, and boom, you're wherever they were. Not that there was online back then, but nowadays you can. Thank you, now times. I didn't beat it when I was a little kid because I wasn't that good at games back then. I enjoyed them, but I wasn't the beating kind of guy. I played it for much of the way, and then I left it be. But I had a good time. That's the important part. I believe I did eventually beat the original one at some point. Um, I will say the bosses were some of them easier than they should have been. Some of them, they're generally really fair. I didn't feel like I was cheated when I was playing this game ever. Uh, and there were a lot of creative bad guys, a lot of creative bosses, and Mother Brain was cool. It was a neat thing to run into. Uh, and one of the major bonuses, if you finish it fast enough, you get to learn the ultimate secret. Samus was, not really a spoiler anymore at this point, a girl. So back then, it was really unheard of that the hero be a girl. And here we have the most badass alien hunting bounty hunter with the big kaboomer arm and all this weaponry. And it's a girl. So if you beat it fast enough, you can then play the game without her armor on, and you get to have the girl sprite on the screen. Now there's codes you can people have uploaded online, so you can start with the password where you have that ability. But I mean, just the idea that that's a thing that we got to discover back then. It was a girl all along? Whoa, that's awesome. And if it wasn't for this game, it wouldn't be that I would have played a lot of the other games that I've really loved in the series. And I'm going to get into all those over the next few videos, so keep tuned. I bought this one again when I was collecting games again. I had gotten a Retron 5, and I wanted to get some of the Nintendo games that I loved as a kid or played, and this was definitely on my list. I don't remember if I bought it individually or in a group package, but I think I bought this one individually at a convention where I just happened to see it on the table of retro video games. I'm like, yeah, I'll drop a couple bucks. I'll buy an actual copy of Metroid. Oh, me. Mine now. And, well, I can physically put this bad boy in a system and play with an actual cartridge. So that's a cool thing. I like that. And do I recommend you play this one? Not necessarily. If you've played it before, you knew what you were getting into. If you haven't, there's a lot of quality of life stuff that isn't in there that you'll find in newer games of similar genre, especially even in the Metroid genre, the Metroid line. And you'll start to feel like, oh, what do you mean I can't jump ball? What do you mean I don't have all my beams combined. What do you mean? I can't just do this. I can't get around like this. I don't have dash. I don't have as many energy tanks. Oh. And it doesn't hold your hand so well. You have to figure stuff out. It is cruel and unusual in a lot of ways, but it was the original and no map. Any map you have, you're either looking out online or you drew yourself. So if you're really into the heavy end of these kinds of games, this could be for you. If you're, not someone who was born in the 80s or before, you probably don't have the nostalgic level to want to play this one. That's me being honest. I'm not going to tell someone not to play a game. But if it's not your style, if you're not an original Mario Brothers kind of kid, if you're not back from when this stuff was, this is a little bit of a stretch. This is a hard mode. This is back when they had the term Nintendo hard. That's Nintendo hard, all right. Just for the fact that it doesn't hold your hand. Not that it's a hard game. It's a difficult to maneuver game. So, but I would certainly play it again because it's my thing. I like that game. And, well, if you like what you're seeing here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll have more Metroids coming up. There's a stack of them here in front of my monitor waiting to be chatted about. And I'm going to go through, well, all of the ones I have and say anything I know about them. Including one I haven't at least played. Because it doesn't always have time. I mean, I could not do this and play games, but I'd rather do this. At least, get to see me having fun for you. And it's an excuse to put on something fluffy again. Alright. Well, to all my little kittens and lions and lionesses out there, I definitely want to thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Patreon link in the description below. And Bursty's happy to see you. And if you just happen to be a little sissy puppy who made it all the way through the video, thank you very much, little puppy, for watching me all the way through. Tell your bunny that you're a good boy. Or girl. Something like that. Alright. Bursty thinks you're all wonderful fluffs. And she'll see you real soon. So, goodbye for now. The stop button doesn't want to work today. And I can't find my mouse. There we are. Alright, now I get to go. Bye, kittens.